Compassionate and merciful. I am very grateful to God for giving us the blessing of coming to Subiaco Benedictine Retreat Center and the Benedictine missionaries. And I have very good memories of our meeting last year, and it gave us energy during the last 12 months. As you know, last year when we were in Kenya, Iran was attacked. So it was the last day of Tangaza course. So we have every year 3-week summer course with Tangaza University. And we were going for the last day, but we heard the sad news. But we trusted God and we carried on. We didn't even delay anything for half an hour, let alone canceling, etc. And then we came here. We had a wonderful time here. And when I was talking about hope, Mother Rosa was there, and she kindly prayed that I would be able to come and give the same talk to the sisters here. God answered her prayer, and without knowing how it's going to work, we had to extend our stay in Kenya, and we managed to come here and give that talk. That was, I think, 21st of June last year. So this year again, we were in the middle of war, and our friends in Tangaza asked us, "Are you coming this year or not?" We said, "Yes, God willing, we will come. Even if war continues, even if there is no flight, we will come by road to Turkey, and then we come, because we think our meetings, our relationships are very important. We are not doing this like, hobby or fun. We do it with a strong conviction that God wants us to be together." So, thanks to God, our brothers from our seminary came. They have been here for 3 weeks now. They are in Mariapolis, Piero. And 3 sisters and I were supposed to come together. And just the day before we had our flight, again Iran was attacked and the airports were closed, and we were thinking of coming by road to Borders and then take a flight from Border to go to Istanbul, and then Istanbul to Nairobi. We couldn't find the middle flight, and then thanks to God, again they said airports are open. So 24 hours was closed and opened. Anyway, we were committed to come, but this made it easier for us. So we should not take it for granted that we are able to meet. Many things have worked so that now me and you can be here and talk to each other without any worry, without any barrier, as real, brothers and sisters. So the training that you have had, the training that I have had, lots of situations, all have helped, that made us able to meet here with complete ease, and we can relax and meet as brothers and sisters. So we thank God, and we thank all people who made this possible for us, and we pray for peace, which is, I think, very sacred and very important. So, what I would like to share with you is some reflections about a topic which is very, very important for us as Muslims, and I think it should be also very important for you. Although I have been in dialogue with Christians for now maybe 26, 27 years, and I have studied, but I don't dare speaking on behalf of Christianity. So I don't say this is what Islam says and this is what Christianity says. I only say what is Islamic view and let it to our Christian brothers and sisters to speak for Christianity. But my understanding is that when it comes to the significance of dignity, we are very close to each other. Like last year, I said to the sisters, I speak as a Muslim imam, but you can tell me maybe a priest also can say the same thing. Okay? So you shouldn't be distracted by my quotations from Islamic sources. The main concepts are important, and later we will hear from Sister Rosa, Mother Rosa, how much resonance is there. I have been very much thinking about this issue of honor and dignity for many years, because this is something very central in Islamic ethics, and I think it's also very important for understanding plan of God for future of humanity, and I will try to explain both. So general theological view about dignity, and then how this is going to be shaping our future. In the Quran, we have two terms which are very much similar to each other, but they have differences, although to explain the difference is not easy. One is Izzah. Maybe in Swahili also you have some of these words, Izzah and Karama. So Izzah, I translate it as dignity. Karama, I translate it as honor. Although you can, replace them. God says that He is the source of Izzah, dignity. So one of the names of God is Al-Aziz. He's the most dignified. He's the source of all kinds of dignity. And the Quran says, Inna al-izzata lillah. All dignity belongs to God. And then God grants these to His creatures. Okay? Yes. So you find tens of verses of the Quran where God is described as Aziz, as the dignified. The root of this term is very interesting because, in Arabic, many words are derived from one root. For example, you have the root ilm, meaning knowledge. Then from this root you have alim, muallim, ta'alim, i'lam, a'lam. All these come from the same root. So the root for Izzah is a land that is hard so water cannot penetrate. Arzun uzaz. So basically, Aziz is someone who is so strong that nothing can break it or destroy it. So this is the etymology of this word. But now we use it in the sense of dignity, but they are very closely connected because, as I will explain later, if you are a dignified, honorable person, you would not lose your integrity, and no problem can break you, can destroy you, nothing. So, God is Aziz. God is also Kareem. God is very honorable, very generous, very forgiving, very easygoing, very easily pleased. Everything you expect from not a gentleman, a super gentleman, you can find in God even beyond your measure. So, He is Kareem. Then God says, لَقَدْ كَرَّمْنَا بَنِي آدَمَ. We have honored children of Adam. And when we say children of Adam, means all human beings. Because we believe all human beings today are progeny of Adam and Eve. Yeah?
Nice.
And God says, we have honored all children of Adam. Not that we have honored Muslims only, or Arabs only, or Middle Eastern, or African only, or American only. All children of Adam. لَقَدْ كَرَّمْنَا بَنِي آدَمَ. Therefore, we have essential honor which is granted by God. Every child is born with this honor and dignity. No matter who is the father or mother of the child. Every child is born with honor and dignity and deserves to be respected. You cannot disrespect someone that is honored by God. Imagine, for example, if a country, someone is honored by the king. Can the police or government disrespect this person? No, it's honored by the king. God is king of the kings. And he has honored all human children. No one can show disrespect. But then you can increase also your honor. So some people, and please listen very carefully to this point because this can be a very sensitive issue. Some people are more honorable in the eyes of God. Okay? So all people start with initial packet of honor. This is free of charge. God gives to everyone. But then you can qualify for more honor. Based on what? Unfortunately, some people think they are more honorable because they belong to certain race or certain tribe, yeah, or gender, or because they have more money, they have to be honored more. They belong to, I don't know, a ruling party, they have to be honored more. No. None of these things make you more honorable than the other. Nothing which is not in your control makes you better. And nothing which is in your control, but it is a matter of temporary achievements of this world, like power and money, can make you more honorable. Okay? So, my color cannot make me more honorable. Why? Because I didn't do anything for it. No one can, reduce honor for me or increase honor just because of my color. I didn't do anything. I didn't, make any achievement. Or my race, my gender, my geography. I come from this part of the world, so I have to be honored more. No. Or I worked hard, I made some efforts, but in making money, you shouldn't be honored more because you are more, rich. Okay? But two things can increase your honor, and then at the end it becomes one thing. One is knowledge. If you acquire knowledge, useful knowledge, beneficial knowledge, that makes you a better person, this will raise you over the people who are ignorant. Okay? So even ignorant people are honored, but those who are learned are honored more. Okay? And the Quran says, هَلْ يَسْتَوَى الَّذِينَ يَعْلَمُونَ وَالَّذِينَ لَا يَعْلَمُونَ. God sometimes asks a question but doesn't give the answer because it's very clear. So it says, are those who know and those who don't know the same? What's the answer? They're not the same. Okay? Or God says, يَرْفَعِ اللَّهُ الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا مِنْكُمْ وَالَّذِينَ أُوتُوا الْعِلْمَ دَرَجَاتٍ. God raises those of you who have faith and those who have been given knowledge. So, knowledge which is given by God as a gift based on your merits and efforts is one reason for becoming more precious in the eyes of God. And God-wariness is another reason. I'm sure you have heard this verse because many times this verse is cited, especially in dialogue sessions, etc. God says, Ya ayyuhan nas, inna khalaqnakum min dhakarin wa unsa. We created you from a man and woman, which is Adam and Eve. وَجَعَلْنَاكُمْ شُعُوبًا وَقَبَائِلَ. We made you into different tribes, different nations. But then he says, لِتَعَارَفُوا. Why we made you different tribes, different nations? So that you know each other better. And you can relate to each other better. If all people were created in the same way, imagine 8-9 billion people looking the same, like mass-produced, products. We were not able to live. And even if we were able to live, it was very boring. This diversity makes it much more attractive and beautiful. If you are painting and you have only one color, so you are the best artist, but use only one color. What can you do? You cannot do anything. So, God says we made you into different tribes and nations, لِتَعَارَفُوا, so that you know each other better. Not so that you fight, not so you say, I am better than you because my color, my race, my tribe is better than yours. Unfortunately, we don't get many times the reason behind God's decisions. And sometimes we use it exactly against His reason. He created us in different colors, different languages, so that we can better relate to each other, but we think this is the reason for fighting. And then he says, إِنَّ أَكْرَمَكُمْ عِنْدَ اللَّهِ أَتْقَاكُمْ. Truly the most honorable of you with God, in the sight of God, are those who are more pious, more God-fearing. Okay? So, if someone is more virtuous, more pious, more, aware of God, this is a reason to be more honored. Not money, not power, not family, not color or race, but virtuous character make you more honored by God. But there is a subtle point here. It says, إِنَّ أَكْرَمَكُمْ عِنْدَ اللَّهِ. In the sight of God, these people are more honored. Meaning that this is not to me and you to judge. Okay? God can judge who is more pious or more virtuous. Or I cannot say, because I am more pious, I should be receiving more salary. You have to honor me by giving more salary. I'm a pious teacher. So, no, these things don't work. Here we are all the same. But when it comes to our position with God, those who are more sincere, those who are more virtuous, those who are more pious, they are closer to God. Okay? So, we have essential dignity or honor granted to all children of Adam and Eve, and we can add to it by being more virtuous or acquiring more beneficial godly knowledge. Okay? And among people that are also very much honored are teachers. Guess what? Because they have more knowledge and they are continuing the job of God as a teacher, because the prime teacher is God. They make you able to become a better person. So teachers, educators, formators who give you better appreciation of yourself and your values and potentials and help you to become better, they are very honored. We have a verse in the Quran which says, اقرأ وربك الأكرم. Read, and your Lord is the most honorable. This is the only time that we have this kind of expression for Lord, Al-Akram, and then it says, الذي علم بالقلم. Your Lord, the most honorable, who taught with the pen, or taught how to use the pen. There are two interpretations. So scholars say that God here refers to himself as the most honorable because he is talking to us about himself as a teacher. Allama, he taught us. So this shows teachers are very important, and we have to respect our teachers. Of course, our first teachers are also parents. Many times our spiritual also spiritual teachers are our parents. Many things we learn in family. But then people who are not necessarily our biological parents, but they are our spiritual parents. They are our teachers. So every human being has dignity, and some people can qualify to receive more honor and dignity. Based on how close you are to God, how more virtuous you are, your honor will increase. So there is no limit. And we believe that we can be so honored that we can even rise above angels. Islamically, human beings can rise above angels. Okay?
Yes.
Not every human being. Yeah? There are some human beings that they don't remind us of angels. Some human beings remind us of angels. Some people inspire angels. Yeah, they're above angels. Like Lady Mary. Lady Mary is above an angel. And angels have the honor of, serving her. So, there is no limit in how honorable we can be. Now, when it comes to our training, whether at home or in the school or seminary or monastery, one of the top priorities must be to treat our trainee in the way that they develop deep sense of self-esteem and honor. Because if they appreciate their own value, if they honor themselves, then we can say most of the job is finished. Yeah? If I manage with the blessings of God to make sure that in my children there is deep sense of honor, then my children will not go to wrong directions. We have in our narrations that man karumat alayhi nafsuh, whoever honors himself, whoever values himself or herself, then resisting against lower desires or lusts would be very easy. An honorable person, someone who is brought up with respect and honor, doesn't need police, doesn't need to be afraid of prison not to do crimes. Automatically says, I am too precious to involve myself in crimes. Even they don't want to use rude words because they say, this is not appropriate for me. I am polluting my mouth by saying rude words. But there are people that if they don't say rude words, they cannot make their day. Yeah? Have you heard of Rumi? Rumi is a famous poet Mawlavi Rumi, they call it. So he says there was a bazaar, a market for sellers of perfume. Okay? So every shop was selling perfume. So you can imagine if you enter into that bazaar, you smell very beautiful, fragrance. One horse was passing through this bazaar and made it dirty and was smelling very bad. So they had to clean it. But none of these people were able to go close because all their life they were dealing with perfume. Yeah? So they could not go close to that dirty place and clean it. So they said we should bring someone who cleans horses, works in a stable, okay, who is used to this smell, and he can come and clean it. Okay? So they went and brought him, but can you guess what happened? As soon as he entered in this bazaar and smelled perfume, he went unconscious. Because he was not used to good smell. He couldn't tolerate good. So, this is the example of human beings. If you are always mixed with good people and do good things, yeah? For you thinking of doing bad thing is even not thinkable. Yeah? You feel sick of doing something bad. Yeah? Imagine you have been always helping the poor people. How can you, for example, one night think that tonight I want to be a robber? It's impossible. You have been always helping people. Or someone, for example, is a nurse, a doctor, all their life they are serving ill people. Say, no, this night we want to be a murderer. Let's see, how enjoyable it is to kill people. It's not thinkable. They will feel offended even if you say, is it possible you do that? They say, no. But if you are used to doing bad things, if you don't have that respect for yourself, then you are expected to do everything. We have another narration which says, Man hanat alayha nafsuh. If someone doesn't have respect for himself or herself, don't feel safe with their harm. Yeah? If someone has no respect, one day they can harm you. Maybe you watch them all the time, maybe you put camera, I don't know, security, but one day they will harm you. Because it's not in their control, it's the nature. Okay? If there is a snake which is poisonous, you give hours of lectures and preaching to this snake. surround this snake with good people. At one time, it's going to bite you. Yeah? So human beings can develop different characters, like second nature. So we need to make sure that from as early age as possible, help our children, students to develop internal sense of honor, respect for themselves. And if you respect yourself, you will respect others. If you don't have respect for yourself, you don't respect others. When we look at, for example, some people who are very arrogant, who are, oppressors, okay? I think 99%, I think of one person now. So if we think of arrogant people, we may think they are very strong. But the reality is that they pretend to be strong. They are weakest people. Because inside them, there is nothing to give them satisfaction. We have this saying in Arabic, إنما يحتاج إلى الظلم الضعيف. The only people who need to be oppressors are those who are weak. People who are weak inside. They try to compensate for their weakness by taking from others. But someone who is feeling rich inside, they don't oppress people, they want to help people. Yeah? So never think those who are arrogant or oppressors, they are very rich, very strong, very confident. No, they are not confident, they are not strong. They pretend. They are very, very weak people, very much feeling insecure. They are sure that no one around them loves them. Imagine what a terrible life is, that you think people around you are only with you because they need your money or they are afraid of you. Yeah, it's a terrible life. If I feel people around me love me, respect me because they see some value in me, that's amazing, even if I'm poor. But if I have billions of money, but I know no one loves me because they know my qualities, my past, my history, everything. They just want to gain from me. It's very bad. Anyway, if people manage to develop love for themselves, respect for themselves, honor for themselves, then they will render this to other people. Prophet Muhammad said, أكرموا أولادكم وأحسنوا أدبهم يغفر لكم. Honor your children. In the culture of pre-Islam Arab Peninsula, sometimes they were very arrogant and very harsh, even with their own children, with their own, wives. For example, once a person saw that the Prophet kissed his grandchild. He was surprised, because for them this was a sign of weakness. You should not kiss your children. You should not show that you love them. You have to look very strong. If you show this tenderness, affection, for them this was sign of weakness. So when he saw the Prophet kissed his grandchild, he said, I have, 8, 9 children, I have never kissed them. Can you imagine someone has never kissed his children? Yeah? This was the culture. They used to bury their daughters alive. And the Quran says, these girls are going to be asked by God, what was your sin? Why you were killed? وَإِذَا الْمَوْءُودَةُ سُئِلَتْ بِأَيِّ ذَنْبٍ قُتِلَتْ. Why you have killed these innocent babies? Anyway, they were suffering from many superstitious ideas, many immoral things. But in that society, in that culture, the Prophet said, أَكْرَمُوا أَوْلَادَكُمْ. Honor your children. Not only just don't kill them, feed them, look after them. Honor your children. Choose good name for your children. Address them in good way. Some people, choose bad name for their children. Then in future, this child always feels embarrassed whenever he introduces himself. Yeah? You have to choose a good name for your child. You have to honor your child. And the Prophet was especially respecting his daughter. Imagine in that culture that they were burying their daughter alive. Okay? Whenever the daughter of the Prophet was arriving, the Prophet was standing up for her. Lady Fatima. So, honor your children and make their adab good. Adab means courtesy, politeness. So it's not just to teach them how to make money or how to make money and how to say prayer and fast, etc. Make them polite people, respectful people, people who have courtesy towards others. This is very important. If in a society we honor each other, treat each other with respect, then life becomes very much enjoyable. Imagine you want to take a taxi. If you disrespect the taxi driver and the taxi driver respects you, then you go to the shop. You disrespect the shopkeeper. He disrespects you. By the end of the day, you made 100 people mad and 100 people made you mad. Yeah, without any reason. It just needs a little effort to smile at each other. Use respectful words. You are not losing anything if you honor the taxi driver or the shopkeeper and vice versa. Yeah? So we have to put this into upbringing of children, students, etc. And then our Prophet said, إِنَّمَا بُعِثْتُ لِأُتَمِّمَ مَكَارِمَ الْأَخْلَاقِ. This takes us now to whole idea of ethics. In one of his famous sayings, he says, the reason I am raised by God as a prophet is to accomplish noble traits of character. We have good traits of character and we have noble traits of character. He said, God has sent me to bring noble traits of character, not just good traits of character. I give you examples. A good trait of character is that if someone does good to you, what should you do? Reciprocate. Hal jazaa'ul ihsan illa al-ihsan. The Quran says, is the reward for kindness anything other than kindness? No. Kindness should be reciprocated with kindness. You were ill. Your friend visited you. What should you do now? When your friend is ill, you visit your friend. Okay? This is minimum. To reciprocate good actions. But this is not a noble trait of character. A noble trait of character is when someone does bad to you, you do good to them. This is what a gentleman or gentlewoman does. This is what an honorable person does. You were ill, your friend didn't bother to ask about you or visit you. Okay? Now she is ill. You should be rushing to visiting her and providing her with whatever she needs. This is a noble trait of character. It's not just good, it's noble. Okay? You needed money, you asked someone to lend you money, they didn't give you. Don't say, oh God, please make him needy so that he comes to me. And I say no. First, pray to God, this person didn't help me. Please never make this person needy. Yeah? So that he doesn't go through this experience that I went through. This needs a great heart. Yeah? That you pray for someone who deprived you. That I don't want him to go through the same thing that he did to me. And then, if you one day hear that this person is need, but he's embarrassed to come and ask you because he remembers what he did, you go and offer with respect. Don't say, you didn't give me, but I still give you. Yeah? Go there and don't say, I know you need. You say, I have some money that I don't need. If you know someone that may need this money, please take this money. With respect, with honor. The money that you give is more important, or the honor that you give. Yeah? For example, as sister, you offer services to people. Maybe in clinic, I don't know, maybe orphanage, maybe in the school, maybe you visit slums. What is the first thing to give to people? Honor. And then you may give them whatever you are able to give, any service, any help. But Nothing can replace honor. So, we need to work on this from very childhood. There is very beautiful hadith from Imam Ali, the first Imam. He says, Al-Karim yara makarim af'alihi daynan alayh yaqdhihi. Someone who is very honorable, magnanimous, okay, when he does these generous, honorable actions, what does he think? Thinks that this is what I owe to people. Someone who is honorable, when he treats people with honor and helps them, feels I am in debt to them and I am just freeing myself from what I owe to them. But a person who is mean, does little thing and thinks everyone is in debt to him. Whole city should clap that he gave $1 and they bow before him. He thinks everyone is in debt to them. But the most honorable people, the generous people, they give and they feel that this was debt that they had to pay. And therefore, if they do something good for you, they thank you. Thank you for allowing me to help you. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to help you. Yeah, in this way the person feels dignified. But if you give them something and say, now you can thank me. Write a letter of thanks to my community. This is not dignifying the person. Okay? So, another quality that actually we need these days very much is that if someone has honor for himself or herself, the narration says, "Man karumat nafsuh, qalla shiqaquhu wa khilafuhu." People who have this sense of honor for themselves, they will very, very rarely get into trouble with others. They are not confrontational people. It's very hard to find them, disagreeing or quarreling with someone, let alone, fighting and attacking. Such people are very much, careful about their relation with other people. And they try to either easily ignore problems or forgive people, or they will have very nice conversation. They say, two people were arguing with each other. For half an hour they were arguing with each other. And someone told them, why you are wasting your time? When there is a stick of wood, you can, solve the problem much more easily. Just beat each other. In 5 minutes, one person will surrender. So why you are wasting your time with discussion? So, those who are honorable, they don't fight. Yeah, we are not wolves to fight. We are human beings. God has given us dignity. Even we should not use bad words, let alone physically, harm each other. This is not human to harm each other, to, injure each other because we disagree on something. Now, when it comes to, it's my last part. So when it comes to present situation in the world and future, I think we have many problems in the world. As you know, in the document, Abu Dhabi, document that the Pope Francis and Imam of Al-Azhar signed on human fraternity, they have mentioned common challenges that we have in the world today. We have many problems today in the world. But I can say maybe one of the most fundamental problems, that is the root of other problems, is that we don't dignify and respect each other. I mean, in general, maybe me and you respect each other, thanks to God. Yeah, we are enjoying our mutual respect and love. But this is not common norm in the world, unfortunately. Yeah, this is not ordinary, unfortunately. It has to be ordinary, but unfortunately not ordinary. People, unfortunately, even people in the same, maybe religion, maybe people in the same country, maybe people in the same city, let alone in the whole world, they don't, unfortunately, observe the dignity that God has given to everyone. They don't respect others, unfortunately. And if we manage to make this a common quality, a general quality, that every person respects others, we will stop many problems. But also, we are facing a very big threat, and that is misuse of AI. The Pope Leo, as you know, in his encyclical, he talks about magnificent humanity. But this magnificent humanity is in danger if we don't use AI based on dignity of human beings, based on values that God has given us in the scriptures. At least common values. Values that even believers in Eastern religions accept. Not only we as followers of Abrahamic religions accept. Even if you ask Hindus and Buddhists, they all accept. We should at least run AI and AI in companies, industries, technology, all should be regulated by these common values. Otherwise, now we can have problem that AI may disregard human dignity. When billions of people will lose their jobs, this is the minimum. When people are jobless, then they cannot easily have dignified life. It's very difficult. When people are killed by usage of AI in wars, as soon as the drone recognizes that you are 90% identical with that picture, then the whole building is bombarded. Children, women, all are killed. And there are so many other problems. Unfortunately, our brothers in humanity didn't respect us all the time. Now, AI and robots are going to respect us. If Cain killed Abel, then it's not unlikely that robots will kill us if we don't regulate them well. So we need to work together. This is the last point. We Muslims, Christians, we need to work together to promote dignity for all. Dignity beyond borders, barriers. All human beings deserve dignity. We are not doing service to them. This is what God has granted them. I am not doing you a favor if I respect you. This is what I am in debt to you. I am doing a service to myself if I respect you. Yeah? No one should think by respecting others, he's obliging them. No. This is the most natural thing, that if I don't do, I would compromise about my humanity. I would compromise about my own honor if I don't honor you. This culture should be the dominant culture in the world. And who are expected to be pioneers in promoting this culture? Those who believe in God. those who believe in human dignity. We are supposed to be the pioneers in this. So we should honor each other, but this is not enough. We should work together to make sure that every human child, every human being, especially those who are vulnerable, they are treated with respect. I may not be able to solve all their problems. Yeah? Maybe they need water, maybe they need medicine, maybe they need housing, everything. Maybe we cannot solve all the problems. But we can start with giving them honor, dignity, respect, love, and then meanwhile we look for solutions. When we are honestly, out of love and respect, looking for solution for someone, God will inspire us to do something. But if I deny them from respect, then my mind will not find a way to really help them. My mind will be blocked. I just would find a way to get rid of him, distance myself from their problems. This is what I wanted to share with you, and I hope the differences that we have in our backgrounds or our scriptures don't stop us seeing all the great commonalities that we have. Thank you very much for your attentive listening and your love, and may God bless you. Thank you.